Hello everybody and welcome on board this Westerly Berwick from 1979 for a good look around her interior and cockpit to give you an idea of where things are, what comes with her, what her layout's like and if you might like her. So as you can see, we're sitting in what looks like a very comfortable cockpit, no doubt due to the cushions at the back, but let's have a look around in detail. So as we look up, we can see we've got a lovely great big cockpit tent here. So this stretches all the way from the spray hood, which ends here, all the way to the stern of the boat almost, and gives you all that extra living room storage space, sitting outside in the rain, in the weather, etc, etc. Really nice. And if I just turn around, you can see that we've got a nice big opening to port, we've got an opening to starboard as well, and an opening, sorry, that was the opening to the stern, this is the opening to the starboard. So real good flexibility there and great for getting on board wherever you happen to be berthed. Now if I just start on the port side, you can see that we've got a lovely, great big long seat here, room for 2 or 3 people to sit there with ease. I think you can see we've got the halyard, the sheet winch on the port side there, nice Harkin unit, and then carrying along aft, I can see we've got this lovely cockpit locker, very nice and deep. I think it goes all the way around the back because we have a lovely, great big lazarette locker here, loads of storage down beneath there for all your bits and pieces, fenders, etc, etc. Here's where the shore supply comes in, and that's nestling by where you can see we've got the lovely traditional tiller wooden helm there. It feels all nice and smooth, and you can see where we would have the main sheet here, just really handy for the helm to operate, and no problem. As I mentioned, we've got the lazarette under here, and as we move forward we have another locker lid here, lovely great big space as well for all your bits and pieces, loads of room down there, and we've also got the throttle inset. So we have the helm, the throttle and the main sheet all within easy reach of the helm, which I really like. We've got the engine stop down here for really good, because that means that anybody can grab hold of it if they need to stop the engine in an emergency, not just the helm. We've got a nice grating on the floor here as well, so that'll keep your feet clear of any water that accumulates in there before it disappears. And on the starboard side here, you can see we've got the engine start stop, we've got the warning panel, we've got the tachometer as well, and also the engine temperature gauge down there. Again, all nice and easily within reach of the helm, which I really like. Westerly must have thought about this boat when they put her together. So here we go, we're looking forwards now. Now looking up, you can see we've got quite a nice tall spray hood there. Does come back a nice decent way as well. Looks like there's plenty of life in it. It may do with reproofing, maybe a few stitches here and there, and some of the windows are a bit opaque where the sun's done its work over the years, but I'd definitely say for myself there is life left in this spray hood and cockpit tent yet. So if you're not going anywhere quickly, you should be okay in my view. We've got a nice companionway, so a little step up and over onto the top of the engine casing here, so really nice and easy to get through, nice and wide this way, nice and wide that way as well. Inset into the forward bulkhead, if I just move slightly, you can see we've got a compass, and over to the port side we've got a fuel tank contents indicator, and here we've got speed, trip, depth and wind speed, etc there. Nice modern instruments there for such a lovely boat, and I do like to see that when that happens, because that means that the owners are still taking care of their boat and bringing her into the here and now. Onto the coach roof, you can see we've got a halyard winch here, we've got brakes for lines led aft, we've got what looks like a GPS unit or GPS chart plotter unit there, and we've got another halyard here with brakes for lines running aft here. So lines coming back to the cockpit means we don't have to go forwards too often, and keeps us out of danger, especially when there's a bit of a blow going on. So that's a cockpit. Let's have a look down below. Before I go down there, we'll just have a quick look around from the companionway. As you can see to the left, or the port side down here, we've got the nav station, we've got a nice big sofa here, saloon table in the middle, a sofa to the starboard side. I should say that this one looks like it converts into a double two, and we have the galley down to the starboard aft corner there. So let's pop down and start off by reversing ourselves and looking towards the companionway to give you an idea of what it's like to clamber up and down, and it is nice and easy. Once you're in, you're on top of the engine box here. We've got a nice big lid to step on here, a small step there if you need it, and this does open to give us another little locker, very common on Westerlies, and really lovely and easy to actually get to the top of the engine for a quick look. So if you're at sea, if you're on your own or if you've got crew, you can easily pop down here, lift the lid and have a quick look. Obviously, while you're doing that, nobody can use a companionway, but it is very quick lift, quick look and down. So I really like that, and because quite often these companionways are quite hard to get out of the way to see the engine at sea. Starboard aft corner, we have the galley. So as you can see, we've got a gas alarm. If I can lift this with one hand, we've got a lovely, great big fridge there. Absolutely whacking great big thing, much bigger than I would expect on a boat of this size. We've got a sink here. We've got a bit of work surface here. Some fiddle shelves around there for your pots and pans, your plates, etc. Nice cupboard behind there as well, and a bit more work surface here, which just lifts up to convert into the twin burner cooker there. Gimbaled as well for use at sea. We have what looks like a grill and an oven underneath, and we have more storage and the foot pump there, a little bit more storage in the after end of the galley there too. All very good, and should suffice for some time at sea on a boat like this for a small family or a couple of friends or a few friends away for a weekend or longer. Anyway, starting at the top, we can see we've got the headlining here. There's no droop here, which is all very good. It all looks nice and solid. I'd assess that there's probably just under 6 feet headroom there. Good headroom given over by the large, or the good height for the coach roof there. If we just look towards the windows, you can see we've got blinds across port and starboard windows, look nice. And the lovely great big windows that Westerly have given to us, so great view outside. And they're kind of at head height rather than up here, so you can see out really, really well, even if you're just standing here. As we come down the companionway, we have handles port, starboard, and as we're making our way forward, we've got our handles here as well, port and starboard, but nothing else really to assist us going forward. So I guess we would be using the fiddle shelf there until we get to the bulkheads, etc. But not too much of an issue really. And if we just look down, you can see we've got a lovely great big fiddle shelf behind here. You can just see the chain plates coming down there, which is always nice to see, and something to hang on to, and something to tie things to, but also nice to see and be able to inspect as well. We have a lovely great big long sofa on the starboard side. We've got storage behind, there we go, nice big binnacles there, and we have lots of storage underneath here too, along with the refrigeration machinery under that section there. Very good indeed. Just looking down at the floor, you can see that we've got a lovely wooden floor here. It's of an age, I guess, so but actually looking pretty good, and I really like it. It really sets off the interior of this boat. So we've got colour, we've got wood, and we've also got nice white too, so it's feeling nice and bright and airy down here, which is often not the case. The saloon table set in the middle, bolted down. As you can see, we've got a bit of storage in there as well for your wine bottles, wine glasses, etc. And we do have 2 leaves that lift up. I'll just lift one up. There we go. Gives us a nice big table, so we should be able to eat in comfort for probably, I'd hazard a guess, for about 6 people, because we do have the leaf on this side too. But let's move forwards and see what we can find here. Just as we go through this little lobby here, we've got a lovely great big door here, nice wooden door, massive great big hanging locker here. So as you can see, we've got coat hooks, we've got something to hang coat hangers from, so that's where all your wet gear is going to go, or if you haven't got any wet gear, your longer garments, etc. And if I just close that door and move forwards, the door is already open to the forward cabin, and as you can see, we've got a lovely cabin here. Upholstery is good on this boat actually, and we've got the carpeted finish around the bulkhead and the deck head, which looks all right to me. And if we just move forwards, we can see we've got fiddle shelves, port and starboard. We've got windows, port and starboard, that both open, which is lovely. Reading lights, port and starboard, and a hatch there, which is a solid hatch, so when it's down, light isn't coming through that, but when it's up, it's nice and bright down here. So all very nice. We've got a socket in the corner there for charging your phone, etc. And this bulkhead here is the intrusion into the forward cabin from the heads compartment, where we'll go next. So let's move aft slightly, and we'll open the door to the head. There we go. Nice size compartment, this one. Really good head height as well. So as you can see, we've got a manual head fitted to the port side, and so if you're sitting there, you'll be looking athwartships to the starboard side. Plenty of room in here. We've got storage beneath the sink, we've got storage behind the head, and we've got a nice sink in the, as you're standing at the sink, you'll be facing forwards, so nice and easy to use, no worries at all. So plenty of room, does what it says on the tin. Lovely job. So we'll close the door to the forward head. There we go. And back into the saloon, and you can see we've got almost a carbon copy, if not a complete carbon copy, of the starboard side here. Nice long berth, nice and wide, and looks like this pulls out here, which gives us a double bed for guests or just more accommodation, etc, etc. And underneath we have more storage, and behind we have more storage too. And again, we have the fiddle shelf, and we can see the inboard parts of the chain plates there too. Nice big windows again that I mentioned with the blinds, and that leads us to the last part of this tour where we're coming to the port aft corner. Now normally under here there would be a sort of a double or a 1.5 times bed. Now this owner has taken the liberty of increasing storage, which if you're on your own or if you're not planning on taking lots of people to sea or sleeping on board, then really good idea. So you can see we've got lots of room underneath here for bits and pieces. We've got a microwave there, a shelf, etc, etc. So lots and lots of extra storage. We've got the electrics panel inboard there and all sorts of bits and pieces there. Batteries live underneath this section here, and I have to say this shelving actually looks quite good. It doesn't look like it's just been knocked up out of a few bits of wood. It's actually okay. The saltwater inlet for the engine is underneath there too, as well as a few more bits and pieces. But generally speaking, if you're going to be doing the navigation on this boat and using the old-fashioned navigation table, because that's what they seem to be becoming these days, you would normally be sitting on the bunk facing forward, but I think probably these days, because of this shelf, you might be standing here leaning over. We've got a nice big lid here with plenty of room underneath for all your navigation bits and pieces. Lovely big area here for your paper charts if you're still using them, or maybe these days it might be a bit more of a sideboard because people are moving to the electronic versions more and more. We've got DSC VHF here as well, and we've got a nice little Raytheon unit nestling under there as well, and that completes the nav area. So this has been Tim from Boatshed Yacht Brokers, just taking you for a quick tour around the interior of this 1979 Westerly Berwick. Thanks for watching, hope you've enjoyed, and we hope to see you again soon. Take care.